Okay, for which I just want to go through one more question. And that will be exercise 5.5, question 13. Will you turn to textbook page 130 so that you have a full view of the question? It's rather long, I don't want to waste my energy writing down the whole question. Okay, turn to page 130. Sylvie, I'm not sure why you changed from one seat to another when those two seats are not yours. Can you get back to the seat inside for you to ribbon, please? Okay. Now, in this question, it says that a school with 1,500 students, one student returned from vacation with a contagious flu virus. The spread of the virus through the student body is given by a certain function. So, key things to note, there are 1,500 students at the beginning. The spread follows this model, this function, whereby y is the total number of students infected after T days. T is of course the number of days after the first case itself, right? The school will cancel classes if 40% or more of the students are ill. So there is this other information that if 40% of more students. Will be infected after 6 days. So I think that part 1 isn't an issue, whereby we will take T to be equals to 6 using the function itself, and then our calculator, we can calculate the number of students who got infected. That comes out to be 147.94, and rounding off it will be 148 students. Is because of part 2. I don't think part 1 would be a problem, okay, because we have done that in earlier examples already. My concern is about part 2. Okay, after how many days would the school cancel classes? Okay, in the question itself, they gave you the qualifier for you to decide when is it that classes will be cancelled. It says that it is only going to be cancelled if 40% or more students are ill. So, how do we make use of this piece of information? Find what is 40% first. Okay, sure. Okay, number of students, 40%. So 40 over 100 times 1,500. That will be 600, is it? Right? After finding this 600, so what? Okay, so we will then choose when y equals to 600. And then we begin to solve. I was wondering, any chance where anyone here is thinking of forming an inequality? Forming an inequality? Okay? I think some of you are puzzled. Why would anyone form an inequality? The reason is because the question says 40% or more, right? Okay, so the context, the thing given in the question will imply that we want the number of students, okay, right? We want to look at the situation where the number of students infected is more than or equals to 40% of your 1,500. In other words, y is more than or equals to 600. Okay? While you can form an inequality like that, you won't face a problem when it comes to solving. Okay? Because y, when y is substituted in with the model, right, the expression, okay, if I write the inequality like this, we wouldn't be able to solve it because, okay, in inequality solving, we plus, minus, times, divide numbers. Over here, this is a function. Okay, so to solve an inequality involving a function itself, we have to depend on the graph. Okay, so it becomes challenging, right? So, in fact, even if I form an inequality, I will encourage you to proceed to solve an equation first. Okay, solve an equation and then interpret from there, rather than to continue solving from here because you need to depend on the graph itself. Okay, so I will still go back to solving this, which is much easier. Okay, and I trust you all can solve this, right? Can I give you all about 2 minutes to solve this equation and tell me what is the value of t? So that you warm up your brain a little. What I've written on the whiteboard. What is the value of t that we get? 8.1259. Okay, even if you round it off to 3SF, it will be 8.13. But what is the objective of the question? How many days would the school cancel class, right? So we're looking at a whole number. Okay, what would the answer be? 9. Anybody think of 8? Okay, You don't have to explain why is it 8. We need to be clear over why is it that it is 9. Okay? It's because what happens if it is 8 days?
It's not fully 40%.
It's not fully 40% yet, okay? Because the number of people getting infected increases over time, right? Okay, if you decide to choose that it is 8, okay, the one that is rounded off, based on the rules of rounding, okay, you will not achieve 600 students yet, alright? So therefore, you need to round up in this case, okay? So therefore, number of days after, let me just write one more sentence. The school cancel classes after 9 days. Okay, so your answer should be 9 days, it shouldn't be 8 days. Questions? Okay. Have I given you homework for exercise 1.5 yet? Not yet, right? Okay. Homework for exercise 5.5. What do you mean why? Because you are a student. 1A, 1C. You know that if I give a lot, I also have to mark a lot, right?
Yeah, win-win.